Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt. I am Soups History, and this is the channel where I'm digging through 88 years of Superman, so you don't have to. I've got a million reels on here, not a million, I've got like 70 reels on here, so please feel free to dig in, take a look at those. It's all a good time. Lots of comments happening on a bunch of those too, which has been a lot of fun to deal with, especially when I misname Bruce Banner as David Banner due to my old age and my love for the old Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno TV series. Been having a great time watching this show. The previous episode, Fun and Games, was Toymaker, and it was creepy and awful and amazing and great. I almost feel like Toymaker is a Batman villain. He's just so creepy, and with his little toys and all of those things, I really feel like it's a darker, creepier villain that belongs in like the Batman Rogues Gallery. But we've got him here in Soup's Land. This week's episode called A Little Piece of Home. I know nothing about it. That's the whole point of me watching this show. Just one little more nugget of information to have in my brain as I cover these 88 years so far of Superman. Without further ado, episode 5, the animated series.
In anticipation of tomorrow's grand opening, I felt that you, the elite of the Metropolis press, might enjoy a sneak preview of the...
I'm not going to talk about politics, but there's a little bit of this that feels very Trump-like, especially when it comes to his
electronic surveillance and an impregnable automated security system.
library.
Did you hear that?
Just typical Luther Blarney.
I don't think that's what he meant.
Happy to answer any questions regarding
X-ray
the
vision.
museum and its displays.
Always got to have the one villain who's like a lunkhead.
How do you respond to charges that the museum is really just a large tax shelter for LexCorp?
I wouldn't.
Warned you. There's music. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Love it. Love it. Love anytime they show how strong Superman is. It's always great.
All day, or you...
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Oh, a little piece of home. Silly me.
Maybe we should help him.
Sure, we'll send him some chicken soup. Come on!
Dun dun dun.
Lex Luthor.
So he's got to be there every morning to open up the museum.
Luthor Museum of...
Superman.
I'm sorry.
Oh. What are you sorry for? You don't like Lex anyway.
Nito and Sam Corrali. See that they're
Of course
dealt
he knows
with.
who they are.
Check. Some fine examples of the crockery and dinnerware of the ancient Babylonians. Their practice...
So, for those of you who haven't been watching all of my reels, which, you know, it's fine. The introduction of Kryptonite actually happened in the radio drama, not in the comic books, which is surprising.
I like the stuff they had in there before.
Before?
Yesterday. They came in this morning and changed the whole display around.
We'll need to test it out on Superman himself. See that it's in my office within
You
the
know,
hour.
so this is, of course, just to talk about something.
Have here. The very tool I need to completely control and humiliate Superman.
It's such a good show. It's hard to like talk during it too, because I just want to watch it.
Work for me, Peterson. Don't forget that. There shouldn't be an opinion in your head that I haven't put there.
But Kryptonite, of course, was obviously created because they were having a hard time taking Superman down, right? Like we get Brainiac, who's more intelligent. We get Mr. Mxyzptlk. Mxyzptlk.
Two museum thieves. That doesn't make sense.
Who?
Who? Superman. Free throw. 3-point play.
who has magical powers,
Yeah.
Miss Lane?
and magic
It's Professor
oftentimes
Pierce.
takes down.
So, what do you got for me this time, Professor?
Miss Lane, quite literally extraordinary.
Superman, obviously. You know, we eventually get Kryptonians who can do it.
Feel what?
There's like a clone of
think she's
Superman that's
interested.
created.
Sure she is. Aren't you, baby?
Don't call me baby.
Interesting. Are they alluding that she's like a lesbian? Or are they alluding that she's like got secret powers?
Not since the blue guy showed up.
Both are good.
This
It's the 90s, so you know, they're like, do we introduce lesbians into
I pull
the
this heist of yours, it's a sure bet I'll get caught.
vernacular for kids?
understand. That's exactly what I want.
And commercial. I have free HBO through my cable, but it has a commercial during it, so it's kind of annoying, but it's free, so you're like, I can't really complain.
So what'll it be?
I'd like the turkey meatloaf, baked potato, no butter, no soup, salad, house dressing on the side. Give the whole thing legs.
What's the rush?
Take a look at this.
Dun, dun, dun.
Careful!
I'm sorry.
Hold of some kind of meteor that seems to have the ability to drain Superman's powers. This is just a small sliver. You sure you're not catching something?
I'm okay. Really.
I'm taking this piece over to Star Labs to let them have a look at it. I'll let you know what they say. The gentleman would like a large orange juice, chicken soup, and tea with lemon. You gotta take care of yourself, Smallville.
Does Lois care, or is she just being Lois? Remember orange juice was a whole big thing in the second movie? Getting back to what I was saying about the villains, of course, you know, they basically had to develop kryptonite to give Supes a reason to, or an ability, because he was so much stronger in the Silver Age. He had ridiculous powers. I think next week I'm going to be talking about how, you know, at one point, Mr. Mxyzptlk gives him a sneezing powder and he destroys an entire galaxy, you know, with his sneeze. So that's how powerful Superman is in the Silver Age. He's just ridiculously powerful. So they had to create something like kryptonite to be able to bring him down. I mean, that makes sense if you think about it.
There's no way down off this roof.
How about up?
This is really a problem because the show is so good, it's really hard to talk about anything because you're just watching everything really cool that's happening, like this. I know that like villains at this point in Superman's career are still testing him. Like, what can he do? What can he hold on to? What can he? Will anything actually hurt him or not? Rope? You think that's gonna hold Superman? I mean, I realize this is all a test leading to Superman and the kryptonite and everything, but that's just silly. It's a trap!
Oh, what's the matter? Don't you want it?
Oh.
I'm sorry.
What are you doing? Get him back to the center of that room.
Well, that was lucky.
A rock.
I love how they've made her such a badass.
Sue, you don't look so good.
It's that guy from the second episode, I think. The Popeye guy. Haha.
If you'll excuse us.
Kind of hope the show does a lot of these.
I'm listening.
But it is bothersome to have you always trying. So, the deal is this. You leave me and my operations alone, and I and my little green rock will leave you alone.
I don't make deals with criminals.
Yeah.
I control everything in this town.
Yeah.
Well then, I guess I'll have to kill you.
Dun dun dun.
My contact at Lex Labs thinks it isn't even from this solar system.
The fact that your body chemistry absorbs the radiation so readily leads me to believe you share with it a point of origin.
You mean it came from Krypton?
More than likely it is Krypton, or rather a small piece of it. Kryptonite, if you will.
Kryptonite.
The green radiation.
There is one bit of potentially helpful data. Its radiation can be shielded by element atomic number 82.
Lead.
There.
Lead.
That kind of made Superman look a little silly, but that's okay. You're forgiven.
I mean, I can see myself home. Really?
But I insist. Metropolis can be such a dangerous city, Peterson. I'd hate to wake up tomorrow and find out that something terrible had happened to you.
Lex is such a bad guy. They made him so good in this.
Anyone? Lois?
Of course, Lois goes in without waiting.
Professor Peterson?
Oh, Lois. Dun dun dun.
Kryptonite.
Two annoyances with one stone.
I don't care that we used to date. That means nothing.
Entire civilization was destroyed by systemic metallic poisoning.
That's actually a real thing. Ancient Rome, they found a lot of people had died because they are the lead poisoning that was in everything. Their aqueducts and the piping in their house and all of that stuff. Lots of Roman citizens died because of lead poisoning because they didn't realize how dangerous lead was. A feint.
Lane squares off. She aims. She shoots.
That's why they were doing that earlier.
2 points.
Oh, this is only the second time they put the music in. And they haven't even quite got there yet. Aw, that poor museum piece. Guys, I love museums. It's such a thing. Every time I travel, when we go to a museum, I'm so excited. Ah. There it is. Singing the song, because I'm saving the day. Oh. Nice. So it's funny. There's an issue where he actually throws. Editor Matt here, just popping in because recording Matt did not finish the story. The story is that there was an issue. It was the original 1981 Spider-Man Superman crossover issue where Dr. Doom hits Superman with kryptonite. And luckily his flooring was made of lead because he didn't want Superman using his X-ray vision to see in. And so it's a little ridiculous. But Superman then wraps himself into lead and then basically spins so fast that he makes an entire bodysuit out of lead. He picks up the kryptonite and he throws it into the sun, which is I thought what they were going to do here at the end of this episode, but they did not. And then really quickly the episode ended and I forgot I was telling that story. Anyway, back to it. All right, well that was it. Jeez. It's worth mentioning that every time we get to the end of an episode, I'm like, oh, it's over. This one at least felt like, oh yeah, it's over. but the time just flew by. It's yeah, you guys saw by like just how little I had to say during the thing that I'm really liking the show. This one less creepy, definitely more like kids flavored, but still good. Like, you know, Kryptonite is, but Kryptonite very important in the lore. You guys know that like there are different colored kryptonites. You know, I haven't done a series on that. I should do a series on that. I'm gonna mark that down. Different colored kryptonites, and they all do different things. There's a fantastic episode of Smallville when he finds red kryptonite. Tom Welling really plays that alternate Clark really well. It's fun. It's funny because there have been lots of times in the history of Superman where, you know, he has cleared the planet of kryptonite, or there's a great Batman Superman issue where they spend like 2 or 3 issues just trying to get rid of the kryptonite, and Amanda Waller creates a kryptonite doomsday. That's another thing I'm going to have to do a story on at some point, but that was really that was a really good issue. But there's just been lots of ways where they've tried to clear kryptonite, because then it also becomes a crutch. So then there are lots of stories in the 70s and 80s where, you know, everybody has a chunk of kryptonite and everybody uses it to take down Superman, because people feel like it's harder to write for Superman without having the kryptonite crutch, right? Like there was one of the KO issues. I think it's where he fights DC KO. It's Superman versus Captain Atom. It's really great. As powerful and everything as Captain Atom is, you know, eventually it's Superman who has to, you know, win, because he feels like he is the only person who's going to be able to take down Darkseid, right? But in the DCKO, there's the kind of like this crystal. It's that it's almost like the ring from Lord of the Rings, right? Everyone who touches this crystal that they're going to be able to use to kill Darkseid is corrupted by it. And so, of course, Superman, because he has the heart of gold, cannot be corrupted by it. So, like, those are just like little ways that you can make Superman awesome. You know what I mean? So, really, I think for me, when you're writing Superman, that's one of the ways that you use Superman. You know what I mean? You use his super intelligence. You use his, you know, because think of all the ways that he's had to figure out a way to get Mr. Mxyzptlk back home, right? Like he has to figure out a way to make Mxyzptlk say his name backwards. You figure that out. You know what I mean? That's hard. All that to say, for me, definitely, I feel there are times when they use kryptonite as a crutch, but then there are times when they use it, you know, diabolically. Perfect. You know, Superman the movie is a great example of that, which of course is my like touchstone, as I've always said. But it's a great use of that. It's not a crutch so much in that movie, because that's what makes Eve Tessmacher turn coat, right? That's what makes her, she's like, you have to save my mom, my aunt, my mom, my grandma, whoever it is, first. And then I'll save you. And then I'll save you, but you have to promise that. And I know you don't break promises. So, you know, it's used for almost like character development in that movie, as opposed to just being something that takes Superman out, which of course it also does that too. But, you know, it redeems Tessmacher. All right, I've talked enough. The show is great. There was a lot of great action in it. Well, you know, Superman's always like got lore, you know, no matter what's happening in it. So that it was full of that. Anytime you're dealing with kryptonite, you're dealing with lore as well, right? So there's also that. So that was it. Episode 5, A Little Piece of Home. Great episode. Really enjoyed it. Luthor is diabolical in it, which is always good. I love it when you can have a really good, solid bad guy. I definitely feel like in the James Gunn version, he was a little bit more of a tech bro, but you know, it was kind of like an Elon Musk almost, right? Like somebody who came from the tech world who now has too much money and too much power, and now is, in Lex's case, corrupting it. So that's an interesting take on that character. It's also hard when you have a character, especially in a long-running series like this, right? Where you keep foiling the bad guy. Because at some point it just becomes like, you know that person's going to be foiled by the end of the episode. And B, how did they not lose their power, right? I mean, Lex is probably not going to be in every episode, right? Because you can't beat him every episode. But, you know, it's interesting because Dave Filoni, when he was doing Star Wars Rebels, talked about how Darth Vader couldn't be the bad guy because he was going to get foiled every time. And so suddenly this very, like, important, strong, villainous villain, you know, is foiled every week by these meddling kids, you know? So that's why they brought in the Inquisitors. It's got to be similar to this, right? Obviously, we've already had a Toymaker episode. We got a Lex episode. We'll see what happens next week and who the next villain is. But obviously, it can't be Lex every time. And so it also becomes the case where sometimes you just have to keep upping the ante, right? Like, okay, maybe in this one, you know, Lex hurt some guys, you know, but then in the next episode, he has to, like, kill a squirrel. And then in the next episode, he has to, you know, destroy a bunch of robots. And in the next episode, he eventually has to kill somebody. You know what I mean? It's like, how can you keep upping the stakes when it comes to a villain? Anyway, just thoughts for the coming weeks here. Anyways, enjoying the show, loving it. I hope you are enjoying me enjoying it. And with that said, like I said, hit the reels that I've got, hit the other episodes I've been watching. Still working on that Man of Steel breakdown because it's hard. And I'll see y'all next week.